I'm really excited to talk about some of these new pieces I've been working on. This is a series called Coated Women that I've been developing for the past year. I've been doing sandcast glass for the last 25 years, and I always do it with inclusions. It's a good technique for me because I like to do storytelling pieces and narrative work. I use high fire enamels to embellish their coats, their accessories. I use posture and facial expressions to tell the story of each woman, what we might imagine her history might be. Each one is sculpted with my team, sculpted from a rendering that I do. I might have you bring them to the marker. These are the wood molds that I use in order to make the impression in the sand. We basically put them into the sand. The sand comes from Norway. Pack the sand around the wood mold, gently pull out the wood mold, leaving a nice impression in the sand. Then I use my paper stencils that I've cut out to apply the ground glass into the mold, and then we begin to pour. Jeremy and I moved to Sturgeon Bay in 1997 with our two little kids, and we started our glass studio. By 2002, we had a downtown building in the historic shipbuilding district. I'm originally a painter, but I've been working in glass for over 20 years. As a painter, I find glass to be a really wonderful medium in terms of the way it holds luminosity. I'm also interested in seeing the hand of the artist in the glass, which I can do with a paintbrush with the use of enamels. Here's a sample of a figure that we sculpted while we were visiting artists. So you can see that all the details of the figure are created when we're sculpting it hot. After it's sculpted, we anneal it overnight in the kiln, and then the next day I have the luxury of painting it. One thing about these pieces that is kind of dear to my heart is that it represents women encased within a role or a norm, and they are all in their own way trying to break that norm. They're extended, they're pushing the boundaries of their form. Storytelling has always been really important to me as an artist, and glass work lends itself to that aspect in that it is a collaborative, shared experience. I like to talk about women artists and women from art history in my work, but also contemporary women, and I have found that many of my students are women. When I was teaching in Thailand, most of the students were women, and the content became very personal and talked about issues of motherhood and identity. While I was at Corning doing some research in the Rec Hall Library, I was intrigued by the images of women working in the glass factories in the 19th century. From that research, I developed a whole line of work that became portraiture of these women and their imagined experience. The most important thing an artist can do is show up in their studio with a sense of curiosity and exploration. And from that, it's possible to manifest great work. Sometimes it's amazing, sometimes it's not. But either way, you gotta show up and you gotta get to work.